You guys have this, what I'm sure is going to be a big hit show. Debuting the trailer tonight at Comic-Con, doing the press, everything. Talk to me about your experience. Is this not just amazing? You guys having the best time?
Yeah, this is our first Comic-Con, and this is a pretty interesting start.
Yeah. I would say it's definitely surreal. Like, I've been telling my family, like, wow, this is like my first Comic-Con, and I'm signing posters, and I'm on a panel, and I mean, it's a lot, but it's so worth it, and it's so cool, and I think this is such like an unforgettable experience for all of us, and I'm just glad I get to do it with these guys, because I couldn't imagine doing it with anyone else.
Yeah, soak it all in, because based on your strength of your performances, I think all four of you have big, long careers ahead of you, and you'll think back when. Remember on that panel that guy told me?
So you two are like my standout characters in this whole thing. Like emotionally, your attitudes. Like Tiffany is a boss.
Thank you.
And
She is.
That means so much.
Max, you remind me of a young Judd Nelson from The Breakfast Club.
Yes,
Thank you.
So I want to know where this is coming from. Like, where are you guys channeling these characters?
John Bender.
Immediately, I knew that. Immediately. What about you?
I would say I just like tried to get into. I mean, the comic books, obviously. Comic books are the best you can get. Source material is amazing. But I would also channel sci-fi heroines. Like I would try to get some Katniss Everdeen determination.
I can see that.
And how they do a lot of woods action scenes. I would try to channel some of that. And then I kind of brought a bit of myself into Tiff and tried to make her my own while still staying true to the comics. So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I agree. The comics were definitely a wonderful blueprint, and the scripts, they're so beautifully developed, each one of these characters. So just following that in itself,
Well, you two definitely bring it to life very well.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Being that this is your first series, was there anything that surprised you, or did everything surprise you, the way production's all coming together? What was the one that you think back, like, man, I just didn't know it was like that to make a TV show?
I would say the hours. You know what I mean? Because we're kids, so we have a cap. We have 9 hours max, and that's including school and lunch. But I mean, the adult actors would be there past that most of the time. The crew loved the first episode because it was like, I know when I'm going home. But it was just, I would say that, and then this was my first time being at the ground floor of a project, and I loved seeing how it progressed over the stages. I got to see all of the new script edits and every new revision that was made, and it was just really cool to see how we grew and how we grew.
I would say the thing that surprised me the most when filming is the Chicago humidity.
Yeah.
But no, really, I would say just seeing how I've, in terms of an adaptation, just sort of seeing how each one of Camryn, how she handled it. I remember she kept the comics in the trailer, and I thought that was really sweet. That she has that right there to look back on if she, So I would probably just say how each one was handling, taking their character and infusing it with outside influences, or just crafting it for themselves,
What's a characteristic that your character has that you share? And what's a characteristic that your character has that you would like to have?
I would say me and Tiff share that thirst for knowledge. Tiff always wants to learn more, and I think we both share that. I'm gonna have to think on the second question, so you go.
Okay. One thing that Mac and I have, I think, more differences than we do similarities. But one similarity that I think that really stands out would be our sense of humor. I think we have similar senses of humor, and so I would say that would be kind of our strongest similarity. As far as differences, something of Mac that I hope that someday I can obtain would be, she's very stubborn. However, throughout the show, she maintains sort of a roll-with-it quality, and she easily adjusts to the situations that she's thrown into. And I hope that I can adjust to things as quickly and smoothly as she does.
Yeah. I really admire Tiff's enthusiasm and passion for the things that she loves. I would love to have that one day because hers is just on another level, man. It's like she is so passionate about technology. It's crazy.
You have some adult actors that do a fantastic job on the show as well, and being that this was, your first series, did you were you looking to them, maybe not necessarily going to them and asking advice, but were you looking to them in terms of how they handle themselves, the stress of the long days and whatnot?
Well, for me, this was not my first series for me. However, just anytime you work with an actor of their caliber, I mean Nate and Ali and Idina and Cliff, they're just, you learn so much from them just by being in a scene with them, So for me, it would just be, they elevate anything that they come near.
This was my first series as a lead, but not my first series. But it was amazing because I wouldn't even have to ask. I would just look at them and I would learn something new at each glance. Like the way they carried themselves, the way they would prep for a scene, how they would stay in character even after they called cut to make sure they still weren't rolling. Like it was little things that really made the show what it is. And I feel like learning from them really elevated the show, like Sofia said, to a new level.
Now, I want to talk about your individual characters because both of you, you particularly, you go to a very, very dark place in your story, and you have a very argumentative moment with yourself, and I want to know, where did you each go to get to that place, specifically you, because you go to a really dark place at one point. Where's that channel from?
Right. I would say that I really just let it affect me in the moment. I was brought up in the Meisner technique, so living truthfully under imaginary circumstances. I would just do my preparation and just let it sink in and let it affect me, and just however it comes out is how it comes out. And just taking the time to understand her situation really helped with that, getting to that dark place.
It's almost a relief as a person watching, because you're so tough, and then when in that moment it's like, finally. So I want to commend you on that. Great job on that.
Thank you.
I would say I pulled from what I would do in those circumstances, and definitely from the comics, because Tiff is this very complex character, and the argumentative moment with herself, I had to think, what would I do? Would I be okay if I turned out like this? Let's not be so understanding for a moment. Let's be very combative, and let's be very defensive over your beliefs in this one moment, and I really drew from that.
Yeah, great job.
Fantastic. You guys did such a fantastic job.
Thank you guys.